Welcome back, everyone. 2024 has now arrived, and we all know what this means. We are ever so close to the upcoming release of the much anticipated Under Night in Birth sequel. In the last Uni video, we watched and analyzed the first day of the largest offline Uniplayer tournament to have ever taken place in Japan, Stormy Night 2023. As we continue to prepare our minds for UNI2, in this video we will analyze and discuss the second day of the aforementioned event, which was a 3v3 tournament that featured several high-level players from the game's heyday at arcades in Japan. As always, please do not forget to follow the tournament organizers and sources channels, which are all linked in the description, along with the participating players' socials. And with that, I hope you enjoy the video and find it informative, and I'll see you guys at the next grid cycle. We'll go ahead and switch over to the 3v3 now. So the 3v3 had a lot of good teams. We'll go ahead and pull up the player list for them. I think the most notable teams, at least if you want to look at it from the surface level, and of course we saw the results earlier into the stream because, you know, I just wanted to point out the specific results I was surprised by. But for now, we can look at the participants here. I think the most notable teams in my mind were the team consisting of Ryuse, Notes, and Kyou. That team is extremely stacked, as well as Crow, Jikangira, and Zawa. This team actually, unfortunately, did not make it very far in the tournament, from my understanding. We'll see if they got a chance to play on stream, because I don't recall. But that team is very stacked on paper. There's also, of course, Totoko, Ryu, and Fuwafuwa. That's a good team, especially given what we saw in the singles tournament we just looked at. Even Ohittou, Daniru, and Mawaru, and then Miyagi, Muteki, Yagi, and Shimazaki, very good teams. Saltihiro, Michel, and gutugutu are also, like, a lot of these teams were all definitely in contention for making it very far, let alone, like, you know, winning the whole thing. So this was, like, in many ways just as exciting, if not more exciting, than the singles tournament itself. And I want to point this out too, because the spirit of the 3v3 was definitely akin to what was felt in the past with Reincarnation of Parade, Over the World, some old arcade era uni tournaments that were also in the team format. And those tournaments are highly missed. Those are some of my favorite tournaments to watch, not just the atmosphere that seemed to have been present there for the players based on what was conveyed through the streams, but also the matches, the quality of them. You got to see so many high level players in the same event, and that was always exciting. I think team tournaments definitely allow for that more easily than singles tournaments. So as a uni fan, it's always enjoyable to watch them. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a good look at 3v3 tournament. I do not know where it started, but we'll try to skip towards the matches that take place. Hopefully we can catch them appropriately. Okay, this looks to be a real match. This is Mawaru and let me get the name of the other player. Because I am not sure. Let us see. Kono game wa what is that, the name of the team? Oh, this is Roy. Okay, nice. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Roy is a pretty, like, I believe they've been playing Uni for long enough. They played in the arcade era of Unist, and I imagine they were still playing to some degree during COVID for Uniclair as well. This matchup, though, I think this is, like, pretty, like, I think the consensus on this is that it just favors Hilda straight up. Like, there are very few matchups where Vatista has difficulty like this, and I think Hilda gives Vatista difficulty. Although Roy did a good job getting the first round already, though, which can happen absolutely. I can't tell if this is... It says free play, but I think this is a real match. Oh, and I forgot to set... Oh, let me set this. Yeah, in my experience when I was playing against Vatista with Hilda back in UNI2, and I don't imagine much to have changed since then, but it definitely seems like Hilda is able to run her game without too much impediment, just because she has range that contest and finds Vatista before Vatista can get real, like, you know, set play or neutral started. Because I mean, she has to do the charge time, right? And in order to do that, she's probably holding a direction, so Hilda can appropriately challenge those from a distance and do it quickly enough where Batista's not able to get all that started. Oh yeah, I got hit. Yep. That's always tricky to block the first time, because you know you're trying to. The minute you see her like land after the assault, you're trying to switch to low blocking, like as a pseudo fuzzy guard, and then the linchpin falls right down. So yeah, everyone kind of gets opened up by that. I think they're switching players or something. So based on the player list, this is Mihan Hyde maybe. Oh no, this is Shironoa. So we saw Shironoa in some of the opening games during the A block matches of the singles tournament, when they played against Cap and Sugar. This matchup is actually one of Hilda's worst matchups. Linne versus Hilda. Linne just has such good rat mobility that gives Hilda a hard time. And of course, the speed of her buttons is something that is noteworthy as well. But of course, Mawaru is very skilled, and I'm sure he has preparations for this matchup exactly, knowing that it can give Hilda trouble. Or rather, knowing that it does give Hilda trouble. So he's accounting for that. I think he was trying to do the follow-up, the force function into X follow-up, but it didn't come out, and it came out as regular force function. Very, very awkward. Yeah, some of the inputs on certain moves in the game are a bit weird. I think that's the best way to put it. Oh, what a roll. See, there you go. That is... but not that time. Yeah. But that was a good CS still. That's what CS is for. Hien is also truly a pain for Hilda, because it covers distance, it has some iframes, it makes it a bit harder for Hilda to sit comfortably at a spot on the screen that's not exactly point blank. And well done from Shironoa securing it with IW as well. Yeah, I love how Mawaru uses that force function follow-up to stabilize the dash B confirms. And not just stabilize, but as a matter of fact, make it just easier to do the confirm. Because, you know, those things do matter in tournament environments. You don't want to drop your combos, especially when your combo leads to potentially 50-50, like it does for Hilda. Very nice. So for those of you again that are not premium users and don't use ad block, there's going to be ads in like 5 seconds. So we'll skip to the next one. This one is Mawaru and Rami-san. I think Rummy, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, Hilda and Carmine. A lot of what how do I put this? Carmine has to do, like, okay, a lot of what Carmine does is like, yeah, some of the characters can do this, but they don't need to spend their health. And what really keeps Carmine intact is the fact that he has fuzzies. But it's not as easy to set up a fuzzy as it is to set up Hilda's 50-50. Thankfully, Carmine does have at least some good neutral. Again, it still costs quite a bit of health to make full use of it, but at least his neutral is good. And they're slowly making his defensive options better too. I don't think it's changed that he has a 7-frame 2A though, which is brutal in this game especially. Great combo selection from Mawaru. Side switch and the gloom setup still. It costs force function, which honestly, if this were UNI2, like Nami-san would have Celestial Vorpal right now. So maybe that would be reconsidered in the sequel. And also, it doesn't really matter because it looks like Mawaru's dead regardless. Yeah, very clean, very clean. 4K. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dash B. I think he was trying to do maybe air JC, because yeah, I don't know. That didn't look right. Oh, but good chase down. And Mawaru sweeps. Yeah, some clean Hilda stuff as usual. This is like early A block matches, so I think, I don't know what the format was, but I think like there still was a chance for the Kono Gamewa team to advance through. Oh, and actually it does look like it was slightly edited. Excellent. Shout outs. We'll skip to the next one still. It looks like we got a mirror, Daniru and Needle. Oh, Needle was here. It looks like Needle maybe was only there for no, I don't know. Because day one had a lot of players and maybe they just didn't have everyone on stream, which is like, that's reasonable. Let me see if Needle was there day one. Okay, no, I don't see Needle on the day one entry list, so maybe they only showed up for day two. Fair enough. So Daniru and Needle. Needle's definitely one of the more like researched, technical Vatista players out there, and they've contributed a lot to the character over the years. Like, I don't know the exact year, but for like where they started playing, but it's been a long time. Like, for people that have been following the game for a while, you'll know. Interesting team name, 140, 160, 163. Knots. Oh, Knots is on this team with Needle. So it looks like Knots, Needle, and Nanashio. Yeah, again, I mean, I really don't know what there is to say about Vatista mirrors. That was a sick combo though by Needle with the VO strip as well at the end of it. Vorpal strip rather. Gonna cash out, yep. IW. Oh, no IW. Nice though. Yeah, that was a well hidden B drill. Using the chain shift. Couldn't kill though. This is okay, okay. There we go. So yeah, really good stuff from Needle. I think they did a great job of keeping momentum after they got the hit. Because sometimes with Vatista, if you let the opponent escape, it's like, okay, now I got to go back to neutral. I have to kind of shift gears a little bit, right? Because you do play a little bit differently in neutral than you would when you're, you know, on offense. But that being said, I think it was well maintained, the momentum from Needle's side. So, paid off. So next is Ohittou and Needle. Yeah, I think Ohittou has a lot of experience in this matchup. Is this a button check? Probably, yeah, okay. I should have known Ohittou would never not use his famous Seth color. I guess he did use the default Seth or something at Evo Grand Finals, but that was because like, there was some tournament he used the default Seth color, but I think it was because the color he normally uses wasn't available. And, you know, most of the time TOs are not very welcoming to the idea of buying colors while the top 8 or whatever is going on, because, you know, it takes time. They want to keep things on schedule, which rarely do things ever stay on schedule. Such is a life rule of fighting game tournaments. How did that go on the other side? I mean, it doesn't matter because you have enough time to like adjust the fact that it switched sides after the force function, the crouching force function of Vatista, but that still looks extremely peculiar. C. Yeah, I like the back tech actually from Needle. He still has VO time, so still plenty of opportunities to win the next cycle if it should come to that. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like that'll be happening. Yeah, the spacing that Seth is left at after 63C as a combo ender allows for meaty 5B. I have to imagine Needle was not respecting, probably pressing a button. We'll never know because Vatista could not be counter hit in Uniclair. Thankfully in UNI2 that is gone. And my goodness, is that a good thing? Okay, so Ohittou took that one over Needle, and then Knots is now facing Ohittou again. So this is a run back, and mind you, this is the subsequent day. So, oh wait, no, hold on. This is a button check. Surely, right? No, Knots is playing Orie. Wow. All right. I mean, he does know how to play other characters for sure. Maybe saving the Wagner for later. I don't know. No. This is not this. No, right? This is Nanashio. Probably, because Nanashio plays Orie. And I think Nanashio is on Knott's team with Needle. So this is probably Nanashio. It's. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess. Maybe it is Knots. And they decided to have 2 Orie players for their team. I'm not sure. Regardless, though, yeah, Orie does have somewhat of a difficult time against Seth. She has mobility, sure, but she's not exactly going to be catching Seth in the air without some properly placed Thanatos attacks, or, you know, just wait until he comes back to the ground. Yeah, I wish I had seen more of this matchup, because I feel like the approach of every Orie player against Seth is so different. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of different ways you can probably make use of Orie's, you know, longer than average buttons to challenge Seth, especially when he's going into the air, before he goes into the air, or to destroy an orb and make your way out of there, because she does have a very strong backdash, especially mid-screen. Okay, no, I think they messed up the scoreboard. Yeah, that must have been nanashio, which I suspected. Knots, there's no way Knots would play Orie against Ohittou, right? Great jump, really good. You actually do have to be on your toes, even though Seth's unblockable dive is pretty long startup. You still have to be on your toes to perform the active defensive measure against it, which many times can lead to costly scrambles. And that's the whole point of Ohittou using the unblockable dive. It's to put some fear into you to make a really poorly executed decision, where you're in a worse off position than just taking the unblockable. Oh, great DP. Oh my goodness. That one you do absolutely have to be ready for. Very difficult otherwise. So Knots transferring over some conditioning from the prior day, where we saw the singles tournament grand finals between them. Wow, yeah. Ohittou knew. He waited. Oh, it dropped. Oh, no. No. And this could very well be the round. It's possible. Oh, he missed the chance to throw the green shield again. What? Wake up jumping 2-3. No, wake up jumping. He did wake up air EXDP. I mean, maybe that move does have like invincibility, but I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I have no clue. Zero idea. Yeah. No, that's all. I mean, yeah, like it's trickier to perform the adaptations in that first one because again, when they played yesterday, not set all the time to make the adjustments, right? Like he was able to he was able to give away those rounds early in those games, such that it was like all right to be on the back foot for a little bit, but not the case for the team format where it's first to one in each head-to-head. This one looks to be Kyou versus Nanashio. It seems that there's going to be some sound audio delay here. I said sound audio, some PS4 audio delay. Yeah, Kyou we haven't seen in a long time. I think the last time, well, I know he's still been active, but I think the last time we saw Kyou in a tournament proper must have been, was it Evo Japan this year? I don't remember. But it's not completely out of left field to consider Kyou one of the best uni players in Japan, if not the whole world, just because of how clean he is with making those reads. Like, I think there's so many players you can watch where it's like they won because they took advantage of their openings, you know. They won because they had like pretty optimal combos, and Kyou's got those, right? He has all of the above. Plus he has just, I don't know, he just makes the right decisions so often. It's crazy. And it's hard to really explain. I need to figure out a good way to explain some of these players' strengths, because that will come in handy. But yeah, Kyou makes it work with one of the characters in the game where most people consider it to be a bit of a struggle. Gordeau, that is. And he's been making it happen for quite a long time. But as you can see, the audio is delayed for this match, so that was what was probably at the bottom of the screen a bit earlier. Clean one from Kyou. But I think also the ability to flip the switch is part of also what makes a high level player, right? Because you don't want your opponent to get so comfortable in their ability to play one way. And if you're able to change things up on a dime, like make aggressive pushes with your buttons, whether it's offense or defense, then I think that's what allows you to, that's what allows certain players to be good. And I think that's what I'm having difficulty describing as one of Kyou's strengths, because it's not as flashy as some other players where it's like, wow, this player is so technically skilled with their character, right? Kyou is obviously very good with Gordeau, but it's not just that, is it? Right? So it's very hard to describe. I'm definitely gonna think of some good ways to phrase that for future streams or videos. I'll try to figure that out. Oh, interesting. I wonder what was like the thought process behind spending CS there? Maybe like he did the wrong combo or something. He was trying to fix it midway. But yeah, regardless, I mean, there's a good reason why Kyou loves backdashing so much with Gordeau. That backdash is so good. It travels far for how short it is, short of a duration it is, that is. It yeah, it's fast. It's like Hyde's backdash in a way. It's just fast, travels a good distance. Yeah, I mean, really one of Gordeau's strengths. In Kyou, Kyou uses it in a very elegant way. So let me skip forward a little bit. This is Kyou and Needle. Again, the audio is still delayed natively on the VOD. This is not me. This is not my stream. So just apologies for that, guys. But just want to make sure that's clear. So this is a matchup where, you know, Gordeau probably has a bit of trouble in neutral, at least, or at least, you know, can't run his neutral straight to the game plan, because you do have to be watchful of Vatista's gems, where they're being placed, where she is with respect to those gems, and how far away she is in general, right? Because then that's where it's more likely that you'll get hit by maybe a laser or a ball when you're going for 5C or Grim Reaper, or even Mortal Slide. Yep, like you saw right there, 5C, even though it was blocked by Vatista, blocking was actually what allowed for that fireball that Vatista did to still hit Gordeau during the recovery of 5C. And really excellent damage on the subsequent confirm. It's rough too because Kyou wasn't really on the back foot in terms of being under pressure, like blocking in the corner or something, at all during that round. All those openings were found out of neutral towards the mid screen. And see, he even has to like respect Vatista at nearly round start range, just because he's trying to look for a way to shield for Vorpal too. All of that goes hand in hand, right? Yeah, this matchup might look a bit different in UNI2 because of gems being destructible. And also because 5C will have less recovery. Hopefully we won't see as many unsafe drops as we just did right there. But I don't imagine it'll be like that. Yeah, this round, yeah. So yeah, a rough draw for Kyou, but good on the other hand, good from the side of Needle. I think being able to actually make full use of the advantages that Vatista has in neutral against Gordeau is not as easy as it might seem. So still well managed. So now it's Needle versus Notes. Notes is starting to come back. I think he was inactive for quite a while. Obviously, the best Carmine. One of my favorite players to watch, personally. Very entertaining. But yeah, I think he's starting to get the groove of it again. He was on the UNI2 beta the past few days. So I think he's regaining his rhythm slowly. It wasn't as evident during Stormy night, but he's still, I mean, I think he's still got it. Like, it won't take very long for him to get reacquainted with what he does with the character and what he does in the game in general. That being said, this matchup is still pretty rough, I think, for Carmine. The best way for Carmine to have a fighting chance is to have Vatista in the corner. So this is a good chance right here. Yep. Because you can get Vatista blocking for quite a while. And it's not too hard to bait her flash kick during these strings that Carmine is able to do. With VO. Oh, you missed the IW. Yeah, the timing is not as easy as it might seem. But, yep, the bomb being detonated, releasing the button, is good enough for that round. I think, yeah, I think Notes was the man to be sent in against Needle's Vatista. Makes sense. Send in a guy that can get the momentum started and keep the momentum by pressuring the character in the corner, such that her advantages are not going to be as relevant. Oh wait, Notes got grid broken? I think he was trying to go for throw. Otherwise that does not make any sense. Unfortunate though. Yeah, I guess I should note too, like 6B specifically, even though it takes, yes, it does take Carmine's health, but it is so much easier to do a 6B than it is for Vatista to do a fireball because it's a charge input, right? So the fact that 6B does null out one of Vatista's fireballs does matter quite a bit. It's still not something that you can spam quite often because you're simply going to lose too much health for that. But Notes made good use of it to ensure that neutral was secured and thus the game. Alright, so this is Knots in Notes. Their battle will be legendary. Notes and Knots. Yeah, I think in general, Knots traveling over there for Stormy Night, that gave probably a lot of good Wagner experience for the scene over there, because I do not think that Japan plays against Wagner that much these days. At least, you know, like high-level Wagner players. So, especially going into UNI2, that'll be something worth keeping in mind. I'm sure we'll start to see more Wagner again. Yep. That's a Notes confirm. Oh, the back tech. I think Knots actually would have won the cycle if not for the back tech. Bit rough. I don't think. I think he could have. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously it's easy to say in hindsight, right? But he managed to stay patient when the next cycle, so maybe it's okay because he got his turn back with that. Definitely worth spending the meter there because you can win the next cycle easily. Yep, patient for it. Waited until after he already won the cycle. Invited Knots to go for the throw. Oh, what a shield. Oh my goodness, what happened? Looked like 5C went under and maybe caused a weird interaction. Hard to say. Oh no. Yep, nice, yeah. 5A throw. That's gonna be a lot scarier now that 5A can be repeat cancelled with just 4A in UNI2. You can do 5A, 4A, 4A, 4A. And even for a lot of characters that also carries dash momentum. So you can get a lot of 5As with that in there. I think Nanase can get like up to 5 or 6. It's something absurd like that. And you can delay it. You can delay between them. So it can produce a genuine throw game between each of those 5As. Pretty crazy. Certain characters will definitely appreciate that. I think Carmine will be one. It's not like he needs it, but it'll be useful. You got to kind of take whatever you can with Carmine. And Notes, the cleanup crew, good stuff. Yeah, like I think for Notes especially, if you have not played him, because there's literally no other Carmine out there like Notes. So if you've not exactly played Notes, then I think it's going to be a hard time. Because you know you can play against other Carmine players, you'll get matchup experience, but you won't get Notes experience. But Knots still did a great job. I think he got a solid offensive earlier. So let's see. The next one is just trying to skip towards when the match starts. Here we go. Kyou, Hilda, and Unfortunately, I don't know how to read that for the Orie player. Okay, let me look it up. Is it Koze? Probably Koze. Orie. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, Kyou, Hilda. Kyou has been playing Hilda for quite a while. He was also active during the arcade era of UNI2. Continued playing the game throughout COVID as well. Let me see who else is on Kyou Hilda's team. I think there are a couple of other players that are certainly noteworthy. In the meantime, though, Hilda Orie, I think it's an even enough matchup. It's not too bad for either character. Orie does have to play Hilda's game slightly, but she has long pokes that can quickly close the space, and then plus, if you're able to make great use of the backdash that Orie has, you can disengage in a jiff from the ranges that Hilda's buttons are most effective at. And then, of course, you also have Palebringer, as you just saw. Very good tool for dealing with some of Hilda's gap block strings. So overall, I think both characters can hold their own in this matchup, respectively. Having difficulty finding Kyou Hilda on this list. Let me just make a better scan through. There we go. So Kyou is on the team with Boogie and Mihan. So Boogie is presumably playing Hilda as well. Mihan playing Hyde. Ooh, yeah. That was kind of hard to see, actually, because you're still blocking the half circle forward C. The nails that rush at you. Oh. That JA, Assault JA was very tricky. Done late enough where you'd kind of be caught off guard by it. And there was a great 6B timing catching the green shield. That was a good comeback. Excellent stuff from, I think this was Koze. I don't know if that's correct. But regardless, the Orie player had a good showing in that game. I think they showcased pretty well what Orie can use as her advantage in the Hilda matchup. And they'll have another chance to show it against, I think, Boogie, who's going to be up next, probably. Oh, no, it's going to be Mihan. Never mind. So this is as box standard of a matchup as it gets. Two very controlled characters. I don't know how else to put it. Like, both characters do their stuff, but it's nothing like insane. The one cheapie that Orie has is what we just saw, 6B, just being hard to see, but you can train yourself to see it. Hyde is the hero. So naturally, as it goes with the hero trope, he doesn't have, he's going to be relatively basic, I guess. I don't know. He's still a cool character, in my opinion. Honest Keto and Harada. Yes, indeed. Yeah, funny enough, like, blocking Hyde when Hyde has you in the corner is actually pretty scary, in my opinion. I mean, also just he has good damage in the corner, so that adds to the fear as well. But at the same time, it's not like for the most part, it's just mids, right? So mids that do chip damage, but the chip damage is not as crazy as someone like Wagner. It's funny too because I remember back in UNI2, they were like French Bread were making those videos like as kind of like snippets for how to play the character, and Hyde was like I think the way they like phrase it is like he's like you can do chip damage on his sword nulls, and they marketed it as like a gimmick, you know, like this was something notable. And turned out that like later on, especially in Unist, characters like Wagner just straight up do more chip damage than Hyde. It's so funny. That being said, though, I mean Hyde can do chip damage. It's not like it's not there. It's just that it's definitely not like. It's not something that's worth pointing out as like a gimmick, really. In the same way, you wouldn't, even though Wagner does a lot of chip damage, you wouldn't really point it out as like a gimmick. Oh, Koze put on a show. Yeah, part of that was, I think Koze actually could have probably closed that game out sooner had they confirmed off of the crouch hit 6Bs. They just dropped the link a few times and it made the match go on a bit longer. Maybe they just wanted to keep it interesting. But yeah, we're gonna close off with, or not close off. Potentially, it's still possible for Boogie to make the reverse sweep, but it looks like it's Boogie versus Koze. Wagner just trades range for more pressure, and I love it. Yeah, you know, Wagner actually still has comparable enough range to Hyde. There was a meme back in Unist where it's like Wagner is Hyde but better. Like obviously, please keep in mind that's like a joke, right? I mean, whether it's true or not is up for debate. Back then, it was probably true. Nowadays, it's not as straightforward. But still, like Wagner does have really good range. It's kind of deceiving because it does. She has the appearance of having short range moves. Mind you, when you get hit by 5C and 6B, you'll think otherwise. Even 2C. Her 2C is pretty long reach as well. Ooh. Yeah, Koze is really on a tear. I think basically except save for like Kyou, Hilda, none of the players on Team HHH have really gotten started. Okay, here we go. If Boogie can get like even one 50-50 from this, I think he can turn it all the way. But it doesn't look like it so far. Yep, going for this insane damage. Look at the damage, by the way. Look at the damage. Good grief. Oh my. Wow. That is Hilda. Going for a dash 5B and it actually hitting got me tripping for real. Yeah. Are you talking about with Wagner, I'm guessing? Oh, what a 3B. They probably went for the throw tech. That was probably a 3B OS. Oh, good punish though. Good block and punish. That's what you get for not canceling Orie's 6B. It is a risk you take. Yeah, for Wagner. Got it. Yeah, no. 5B is a satisfying button. It's fast, has great reach, and it's a good starter. Oh my goodness. So this is what I was talking about. If Boogie can get the 50-50 going, okay, he's going to go for Vorpal instead of proper Ender. Makes sense. Spend CS. I'm not sure about that CS expenditure, but fair enough. This is actually not good for Boogie right now. Won the Vorpal cycle, but still blocking. Oh! Dive kick? Yo, I think that's enough. Wow. Skin of the teeth for sure, but certainly all that matters is that HHH still in this one. Boogie can make the reverse sweep. I mean, Koze had all the momentum. It's to be seen whether the rest of Sylvanian families is warmed up and can fight against Boogie, because Boogie's a strong Hilda, and you know, as long as he's woken up slightly, he can definitely make the comeback in my opinion. So this is let me look for the Hyde player here. This is DaxHunth, something like that. Hyde player. All right. Here we go. Yeah, like again, if Boogie can get like that was really key because I think Boogie can take this the whole way, like the full reverse sweep. Just needs that one glimpse of hope. And that's what Hilda's all about. That's what Hilda Gaming is meant for. Guard thrust. You know, guys, I am so glad that we don't have to get grid broken and lose 100 meter for guard thrust in UNI2. I am so glad. I'll talk about that after we finish watching Stormy Night. It might be quite a while until then because this 3v3 is the 3v3 VOD is a bit longer than the singles VOD, but trust me, we'll get to it. It might be a bit later in the night if those of you that are in the East Coast or any other times on the Pacific Coast, then don't worry, you'll be able to watch the VOD back, you know, whenever you'd like. And I'm sure that I'll try to also upload the section that I talk about my UNI2 thoughts. So, but yeah, man, I'm so glad that they changed guard thrust. It still might not be enough, but even compared to when I did the video, it seems like they changed one more thing, which was making it never cost Vorpal. So they're taking the steps in the right direction, in my opinion. And that is another game for Boogie. Yeah. As I was saying, right? Like that marginal victory that was secured against Koze was probably all that sufficed for ensuring that Boogie can pull the weight for his team and get the reverse sweep. Yo, what's up, Vanguard? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through. On a side note, why did the Japanese community move to PlayStation with Uniclair? So that is an excellent question. The issue with the way playing fighting games has changed these days is that arcades in Japan were already kind of slowly waning, and COVID was like the nail in the coffin. So it was difficult, you know. The transition to playing primarily on PS4 came with much difficulty for everybody, but it was like a natural consequence in the way of things, unfortunately. Specifically PlayStation though, because I think PC gaming is not as common in Japan compared to like playing on, you know, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So I think that's part of it too. It's 3:30 a.m. in your time zone. Oh my goodness. No, don't worry. If you like, you know, there's always the VOD to catch as well. But no, I really appreciate that you came through to check out the stream. It means a lot. But yeah, you know, get the rest if your body calls for it. I was so tired after coming back from my trip to LA yesterday and Friday, but I still wanted to make sure to do the stream because there was a lot I wanted to talk about for both this tournament and for UNI2. So we'll get to both of those. But yeah, there's always the VOD, so no worries. But yeah, okay, so this is I couldn't see the name of the Gordeau player. It might not even matter because I mean, oh, drop that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, no. No, dropped it twice. Is this a chance? So the Gordeau player is let's see. Shikiyoku. Okay. I don't know if I've heard of them, but you know, putting him in the anchor position. This must be the ringer. And maybe say I'm looking. Oh, it's fine. You'll stick around for a few minutes to give the watch time and boost the algorithm. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. And maybe say I'm looking forward to breaking my fingers with Yuzu and Vatista in UNI2 since you were too late to the UNI1 train. Ah, yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, I think, I mean, I you know, Yuzu, they're making some accessibility changes that I heard are really positive, like such as giving her an actual buffer during stance. So that should help out a lot. According to Kimone as well, the Vatista changes made for UNI2 are intended to make her much more simpler to play. That was his own words, like something along those lines. But yeah, so hopefully that won't be as bad as it was in Uniclair and before. Oh my goodness. Yeah, as we were talking about, you guys, boogie reverse sweep. Looks like that anchor position was in good hands for HHH. So excellent stuff. Yeah, love to see that. Hilda EX orb into overhead move. Annoying thing I've ever had the pleasure of playing against. Yeah. Yep. It's not just the overhead. It's the fact that she can also do the low. And between those two, if the Hilda player does it correctly, it's not reactable. It's a 50-50. You have to guess. At least if the Hilda player does it correctly. Oftentimes people switch between going from overhead to low because it looks like she's going to do a low as she's about to land. But then she does a very low height JC, charge JC. And it's always tricky to deal with. But I'm happy that you guys are excited for UNI2. The game is definitely going in a positive direction. I think slowly over time it's matured a lot. If you look at the days of Vanilla Uni and UniL, the game's come a long way. So it's really exciting. And I have pretty good confidence that the game will see another appearance at EVO next year. And I'm hopeful to be able to make it, if so. I mean, even if not, like, I'll try to make it there. But yeah, anyway, this one is... Who is this? D-block match between presumably Kyou and... Wait, what is this? Shibaraku team na owattemasu. I don't know. Okay, well, regardless, we'll watch this. I mean, it's another uni match. I don't mind. But it does seem like it's a repeat of a match we saw already. Maybe like a... I don't know. What does this say? Maybe like second half block? I'm not sure. Really excited about the tournament that'll host this game over the World America Edition win. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I think there will be a lot of tournaments for this game, undoubtedly. Yeah. There will absolutely be plenty of tournaments for UNI2. I mean, there's already going to be one around when it launches with Frosty Faustings. Which at this point, like, given the scarcity of available offline tournaments for uni, specifically not locals, but like, you know, regional level and major level, Frosty Faustings might be considered a major now, just given how few of them there are these days. But anyway, like, regardless of whether it's considered a major or not, it will be there. It should be exciting. I think UNI2 is actually one of the highest register games right there. So, yeah, says a lot about where the game has come. Okay, this is Kyou versus Fuwafuwa. That makes more sense. All right, I'm glad we didn't skip from this one. Frosty Faustings was so cool. You used to watch Soul Calibur 6 tournaments there? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've done a lot for, you know, holding it down for Midwest presence. Or not Midwest, but like, you get what I mean. Like, that side of the U.S. Is that Midwest? Am I tripping right now? Probably. Anyway. Yeah, Frosty Fausting is an awesome tournament to watch. They've always had some good events, good matches. Incedient protecting his title on X in like 2021, I think, was amazing. Oh yeah. I'm not familiar with the players or necessarily like the you know, the scene for Soul Calibur completely, but usually, you know, whenever there's like a game that doesn't often get featured at some of these tournaments, and that game gets its chance to shine in a really beautiful way, I think that's always amazing. That's what I love about the FGC, especially watching offline tournaments. It's awesome. Can I ask what are the differences between Gordeau and Yuzu? They both have very long range, but I'm sure there's differences, and I feel like Gordeau has to work less for his range. I'm sure I'm wrong, hence the question. Right. So, Insidiant is a really good Soul Calibur 6 player, and X means Shangwa. Got it. Okay. Got it. Makes sense. Thanks for clarifying that. That helps. Yeah, so Gordeau is very different from Yuzu. Gordeau is, in fact, his archetype is very... I'm gonna be honest, like... I don't know, like, Gordeau's archetype to me is kind of nebulous. There's not really one good word available in, traditional FGC archetypes that describes Gordeau's gameplay in brief. I like to describe it as fear, but fear is also kind of vague. But it's true, but it's still like hard to that's not clear enough for a new player. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Yuzu, on the other hand, is very easy to describe. Yuzu's a zoner in part, but she forces every other character in the game to play her game in neutral. She will keep you out, and if you are too impatient, she'll land a hit, get a full screen confirm, like not full screen literally, but basically like a 3/4 screen confirm, and put you back in the same situation. On top of that, she can still play a very strong close-up game with her throw as well. She has a combo throw, which is not very common, nowadays it's common, but it used to, at the time where it was like noteworthy as her gimmick, I guess, it was not common for a character to have a character like her to have a combo throw. So she has a strong throw game. She's a very strong zoning game. And overall, she just has one of the best kits and a ton of damage. So I think it's easier to describe Yuzu as a zoner with a strong close range game. Whereas Gordeau is Gordeau is absolutely not a zoner, but he can make the opponent struggle from afar if he so desires. And he also has decent pressure, right? Because part of it, Gordeau's goal is to make you press buttons. Yuzu's goal, she wants to punish mistakes. That's her like general goal, which can be accomplished both in neutral and on offense. Whereas Gordeau's more so gonna like make you want to press a button only up close. And from afar, you're mostly just trying to shield him. And Gordeau's goal from afar is trying to catch those shields, which is the purpose of Charge 5C, right? It's an overhead that crushes crouch shields. Because otherwise, every player, when they're facing Gordeau, and Gordeau does Mortal Slide, they're going to shield the second hit. And they're also probably going to shield 5C. They're going to shield in general. So Gordeau can try to bait those to win the cycle. But overall, I think Gordeau is more oriented towards close range game. Outside of what I just said, whereas Yuzu is like, she can play a very cerebral zoning game while still having strong close-up game. It's pretty crazy. I think my curiosity bottles down to, hey, how come this guy can swipe side as far as I can and use some vampiric stab from 70% of the screen, and yet he's not a zoner? Yeah, that is Uni indeed. So, it's funny because when I first got into Uni, I was like, yeah, the range of this game is so crazy. Oh, what a shimmy. Dear me. That was like a literally perfectly timed backdash. Insane. Only Gordeau. It's just beautiful. But yeah, a lot of characters in Uni have the well-chosen combo as well. Good stuff. Yeah, Fuwafuwa's on a tear right now. A lot of characters in Uni have long range. You can even look at Linne. Like, she has a lot of range for the character archetype she would appear to fulfill, right? Nanase, similarly. Merkava, like, people kind of come to expect at this point, right? But there are plenty of characters in this game with a ton of range. Gordeau was definitely a meme in UNIL because he could like kind of whiff punish random stuff from ranges that didn't make sense. And that's just how he worked in UNIL. That was a time where a lot of characters were not fully completed, so Gordeau especially stood out. But at the same time, he's absolutely not a zoner. His goal far range, really. You saw like right there the round start Grim Reaper. That is a strong option of his at round start, but it's not really something you should always use at round start. Because if they just block, then you're giving them grid for free at the very beginning of the round, which isn't always desirable. I mean, you do get your turn, which is nice, but you need meter to make use of that. On the other hand, Hilda can dash B round start with not as much risk. She can no cancel it. She can cancel into gapped options. She can cancel into gapless options. And most of them, you know, it's a lot more versatile than Gordeau going for Grim Reaper at round start. But that being said, looks like Fuwafuwa has taken this one. A sweep for his team. Yeah, it's peculiar for Uni, especially because there are plenty of characters that will be like, you know, half screen poking you, and players will be confused like, why isn't this a zoner? But think of it like this, right? Uni's range of poking is a lot longer than maybe you would see in like Blaze Blue poking or something, or like Street Fighter poking even. I think that's the best way to think of it. And don't like, you know, I know people like joke about grounded footsies for Uni. That it's a joke, okay? Like it's not really true. There's a lot of characters that jump around. I mean, jumping is generally risky because there's almost everything is air unblockable, right? But I mean, it's not like entirely grounded either. You're not playing literal Street Fighter. Okay, no, I'm glad to hear that it made sense. I wish I could give a more in-depth answer. But it's there's just so much to there's so many nuances, right? And a lot of characters can shuffle or adapt their game plan on the fly, so it's not really clear cut. There's no like one dimensionality to a lot of these characters' plan of execution. Yuzu can have almost limited teleports in the air. Yeah, that's a good example as well. No, it's not a bother. Trust me, like, I'm sure this is going to help a lot for other people that are also watching, because you know, plenty of times people have the same question, but you know, it won't be answered until someone asks. So it's completely fine. Don't worry. And this tournament analysis, like, it's much better for me to try to answer these questions as the match is going, because sometimes I can also point out something that's actively happening while answering the questions. So trust me, it's completely fine. And I don't think actually a lot of people are like, I mean, there was a time where a lot of people did do VOD review or like, you know, VOD discussion or tournament analysis or whatever. But I think there's a bit of a void that needs to be filled these days. And I haven't done it as much as I've wanted to, because, you know, in the past I was mainly focused on just compiling highlights, just raw, pretty much. And that does, like, there, I think at the time there was definitely, it was definitely good to, like, you know, just, I guess, build up excitement about Uni, because, you know, not a lot of people are able to see it in as digestible of a format otherwise. But, you know, at this point, I think it's worth adding to the collection of possible video formats for the game on YouTube through just talking about the game while there's a tournament going on in the background, you know? And I know there's like a lot of insight I can offer in these ways, but I haven't, you know, you're not always able to do them in some of the video formats I've done before. It's not always easy to accomplish that. Like, you know, like there have been plenty of times where like I would do a compilation in the past and I'm tempted to, like, you know, put some text on the screen to explain why this was a sick clip. But I think in that situation, it was better to just kind of let it organically be viewed and entertained, or sorry, let it be organically enjoyed in the way that, you know, people want to appreciate it. And, you know, maybe save like the analysis for something down the line, right? So there's always room for different ways of looking at these matches or, you know, these clips or these tournaments or whatever. I think I like Uni since everyone is about the same level of power. It forces you to learn the fundamentals as a beginner of fighting games. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Uni is a great game to be fully engaged with the so-called fundamentals, right? Because that's what you're presented with in a lot of these interactions. You're not really presented with, like, you know, BlazBlue style, like, you know, you gotta guess or you gotta react to the overhead or whatever, right? Or like, you know, some older Guilty Gear games put into Blender, like the Okizeme that almost every character has in Rev 2 and Exart era in general, right? This game definitely, you interact with your opponent in a different way. Some people, you know, find that more enjoyable. Overall, I think these are just different things that respective games excel in. These are different things that the games offer as, like, their specialty. So it's not really like one is better than the other necessarily. Kind of like if everyone is insanely strong, no one is. You could think of it like that too. I do think Uni does have a solid spread of the skill of players though. And it's not evident right now, obviously, because, you know, the game had awful online for a while. And the players that were still active on average were the players that were very experienced. But I think now that the game's entering another new era, we'll start to see a different sort of spread of the skill gap. So I think it, you know, what you're saying, like, if everyone is insanely strong, no one is, might still be true to some degree. But I think as it tends to go with games when they get more popular, we'll start to see, you know, a lot more representation of each side of the spectrum of skill. Exactly. It's not Strive where there's a huge range of strength and skills and people can skip important fundamentals through different characters. Precisely. I mean, you can still do that in Uni, let's be real. Like, there are characters like Hilda where you play the game a lot differently. There's characters like Vatista, similarly, where you might not need the same degree of understanding of the Uni system as some other characters might require. But it's definitely more prevalent in games like Strive or, you know, other games that are in that vein. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, no. I hope you get some good rest, and thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, there's always the VOD to catch if you're interested. So, but yeah, there's gonna be next Kyou and Mihan. It seems like they focused on the D block for the most part in the beginning of the tournament. An example being how Milia can get a hard knockdown and force a one-player game. Yeah. And, you know, that's the appeal of Guilty Gear. It's like a different side of playing the fighting game. And that's not necessarily a good or bad thing, right? Like, that's just the unique... that's the unique quality of playing Guilty Gear versus playing another game, like King of Fighters or like Under Night in Birth. One of my favorite fighting games nowadays, Bleach Dark Souls, is such a peculiar fighting game, right? Because it has elements of fighting games that are really touted nowadays, but it also doesn't have the best degree of balance. It doesn't have the same level of polish that fighting games usually have nowadays, right? So it ends up feeling like an amalgamation of different fighting games that we see nowadays, like, you know, now that the genre started to expand and stuff. And it's interesting because ordinarily I wouldn't find myself playing those other fighting games that Bleach Dark Souls is similar to, but for whatever reason, like, the exact variables that game makes use of is it just fires those neurons in my brain, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, different people, like, enjoy their fighting games differently. So anyone that's saying like this fighting game is bad because of this, you might have to look at that with a bit. You might have to look at that under a microscope, right? You know, because, you know, when people present their opinions as a matter of fact, That's where there's a bit of a suspicion. Oh, what? Oh, wow. Wait. Oh, you can guard thrust during VO. I actually didn't know that. It looks like it still grid breaks you and like uses some of the VO time maybe. I have to look at this VOD after we're done with the stream here. I did not know you could guard thrust during bail off time, but it makes sense. It's just like something you almost never see, right? Because guard thrust is so painful to use. Oh, what a confirm though. And that's a Kyou sweep. Clutch. Yeah, great stuff. It was looking pretty scrambly there though. So Hilda coming away with the victory is unusual, especially in a scramble because their buns tend to be more recovery and a bit slower. But nonetheless, it was a fine conclusion to that match. I love Milia and the experience with her that got my foot in the door of the FGC. But there definitely came a point where I realized that maybe the Oki life wasn't for me. Sure, yeah. I mean, as long as you realize that for yourself, and you know, you find something that fulfills you in a meaningful way that still allows you to enjoy fighting games, I think that's good enough. Some people spend a long time on a character that they don't end up liking a lot, and that can make it a bit more miserable playing the fighting game. But it's good that you realize that for yourself, you know, and I'm hoping that the future horizons you have with the characters that you continue to play from here, you can continue to draw upon the experience you have at Milia, because I think that's something that you can still benefit from. So this one looks to be, what is this, Wildcard? First to one between Notes and Libekichi. Notes Libekichi, that's some arcade nostalgia feels right there. This should be a jam. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Libekichi, a premier Mika player, especially back in the heyday of this game, and even during COVID, extremely active. One of the people that was running Matching Night, an online tournament series done for Uniclair. And then, of course, Notes is making his return to the forefront as the best Carmine, undoubtedly. Basically pioneered most of what we use of the character to this day. Oh, I can't tell if Libekichi was mashing or just got opened up low. It's hard to see sometimes. Oh, how? Okay, first of all, like, I'm surprised Libekichi had the Libekichi great reactions to get the VO after the cross up, but how did Notes block that VO? He just knew, like, cause he did 5-8 and then still attempt to block the VO. I'm pretty sure that was on reaction. Clean. Wow. I mean, that was quick work made. So this next one is going to be Notes and... Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Is the wild card literally just first to one between one player from a team? That's insane. I just got to make sure. Sorry, guys. I'm rewinding just to make sure of it, but that's unbelievable. Yeah, wow. Because I'm looking at Libekichi's team. He had Cho, Wagner, and Nanashio on his team as well. Nashio's a Mika player, and none of them played, it looks like. So that wildcard match was literally just first to one between one player from each team. That's pretty crazy. So I understand now why they put up Notes. Notes is definitely the player to send in there. Isn't the Japanese scene known for first to one brackets? Yes, they are actually. It's been like that for quite a while, even back in the days of SBO, specifically, Togeki SBO. If you're unfamiliar with that, there should be some historical videos that discuss it, maybe on Majin Obama's channel. And then I think some VODs are still available actually on YouTube for that. People have uploaded the DVD archives. But yeah, even back in those days, first to one was the thing in Japan. And it's been like that for quite a while, even during the arcade era of the 2010s. Seems like they're keeping up the spirit of it with Stormy Night. But I think that was intended. Stormy Night seems to have been trying to maintain some of that arcade spirit to some degree, especially with the 3v3 format. But 3v3 first to one between one player. that is some next level volatility. But some players are born for this. And I think Notes is definitely one of those players. Boogie must have been trying to go for VO. Has to have been, right? Like, just maybe messed it up. That VO, if it succeeded, would have been huge. But unfortunately, it's going the opposite way so far. Would you say wake up reversals still have their place in high level uni? You don't really see it too often in high level matches. Yeah, it's just because it's so risky, right? Like, getting punished on a DP is brutal in this game. Not just the damage that you take, but usually it just offers so much steamroll potential. It's a different psychological pendulum than for like KOF, where usually KOF is fast paced in terms of not just the pace of the round, like how long the rounds take, but also how quickly the tempo can change between either player. I think that's what allows for DPs to have a better place. Wake up DPs specifically have a better place in other games than in Uni. Uni is a bit slower paced in terms of changing tempo between players. And also, usually you won't see players go for wake up DP unless they can assure that it'll succeed with a wake up chain shift, which is much safer. If you think about it though, like wake up chain shift into DP is kind of the same thing as doing wake up DP. It's just that you're assuring that it'll succeed if you do change shift first. So that being said, right, would they still have their place? Absolutely. You can still do it, right? Like, and the fact that it's more risky means that it might be less expected. So you can use that to your advantage, but you should be willing to bear the consequences. I think one thing that people kind of get afraid of, and I've talked about this in one of my clips that I uploaded of what makes a player good at uni. You just have to be unafraid of any consequences for your mistakes. That's important because you don't want the psychology to affect your ability to perform. So you know, if you're prepared for your DP to get baited, then mentally you can maintain the edge you might have over your opponent. And if you can make them feel that advantage you have in the psychological game, then that's another advantage that you can make use of. So I think just transitioning to the top 8, looks like it's going to be Michel and Fuwafuwa. Is the tournament being held in Electro Hall? Good question. I think you can actually get info on the venue on the Stormy Night page. The Stormy Night page is in the description. So if you go to that webpage, I think you should be able to find like the location or something and then look it up on Google Maps. I'm not certain on whether it's Electro Hall, but that's a funny thing. It actually looks like one, kind of. A small one at that, but you know. Yeah. Okay, so Michel and Fuwafuwa. Michel, again, has been playing extremely actively during COVID. In fact, I think he's been most active during COVID. He did play as well, though, back in the arcade Unist. I don't know if he was... Oh! No. Wow, PS4. Lovely console. Are they just going to replay it? Restart? Wow. I mean... Oh, okay, what's up, Liquid Snake? Is the beta over? The beta should still be active. It's active in to my knowledge, it's active until 11 p.m. Pacific tonight. So you got 4 hours to let loose on the beta, from my understanding. Yes, thank you, Arisu. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be talking about the UNI2 beta towards the end. I know it's going to be like pretty late for a lot of you that aren't on the Pacific Coast, but I'll also make sure to try to get an upload for it, and then of course the VOD will also be available for viewing right away. So there will be no issue. But I'll definitely make sure to talk about my thoughts on the beta. I even wrote down a Google Doc, and the link for that's already in the description if you want to view that a bit early. Although I'm sure it'd be, I'm sure some of you would be interested in hearing like specifically how I describe my thoughts. Spaghetti meatballs. What was that? 4 more hours to experience the wondrous euphoria of Wagner's 66FF. Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, that move. My goodness, yeah, Wagner's got some stocks. Like, she's gonna... yeah. Wagner stocks are on the rise. I think so, too. Going into UNI2. Yeah, those confirms look pretty satisfying. Uh-oh. Don't tell me this comeback is going to be made. Oh my goodness, 15 seconds? It's possible. It's very doable. Oh, he wasn't blocking? No. Oh. I'm going to assume... Okay, let's give Michel the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he was going for wake up dash block and he just messed up the dash block, because that is very possible. I don't want to believe that he was mashing on wake up. That's I mean, if worse comes to worse, you can probably guard thrust. He had the meter for guard thrust. I mean, it's still not great. He also technically had the meter for VO. But man, yeah. In top 8, that's brutal. Unfortunate. Fortunately, he does have some great players to back him up. Gutugutu, one of the best Orie players in Japan. And he's been very active throughout the game's lifespan. Not just Uniclair, but also back in Unis. He was one of the premier Orie players. A lot of it's interesting to talk about the Orie players specifically that are high level, because I feel like all of them have something unique to describe about what they excel at. It's really cool. What would be the benefit of dash blocking there? Oh boy. No, don't worry. I'm not saying oh boy like I like the question. Like, there's a lot to say about dash blocking in Uni. But to put it simply, dash blocking is low risk and good reward. It's not like high reward, but it's good reward and very low risk. Let's assume that you never mess up wake up dash block. It's literally no different than just waking up with waking up with crouch blocking. It's no different. If you get a perfect dash block, like if let's say your dash blocks are always correct, then wake up dash blocking is the same as waking up with crouch block. And potentially, let's say your opponent goes for assault as you're waking up, you'll just slide under them. And if they don't go for an exact meaty, you'll slide forward a little bit, which gives you a little bit of space. Maybe you're closing the space a little bit, because anytime you dash block, you're closing the distance, and you're still allowing yourself to block technically as soon as possible. The only stipulation about dash blocking is that your character's dash startup is the amount of time it takes for you to start moving forward after you input dash. So that means if you block right after, like let's say after you input the dash, you block something before your dash startup completes. That means you won't move forward. At least if I understand correctly. Like that description might not be 100% precise, but the best way to put it is that if you never mess up your dash block, it is effectively the same as just blocking the whatever way you would block ordinarily, but it's literally better because you'll also avoid certain things that your opponent might do, and you'll potentially close the distance slightly. So it's great. Wake up dash block is awesome. While I was talking, there were some very good interactions that Fuwafuwa made use of, and it's gonna be hard to point them out retrospectively, but it's fine. I'm sure you guys are uh, taking in and enjoying the gameplay action. So it's all good. But yeah, gutugutu is very clean on Orie. Again, it's hard to describe every single thing that each Orie player that's high level excels at, but trust me, they all have something that makes them stand out individually. I already talked about Orie earlier. Gutugutu, I think, has some of the best improv confirms, and in general has the cleanest uni game sense. Like, I think he's often able to make a lot out of nothing, which is an underrated strength to have. So right now, gutugutu is obviously in a losing position, but trust me, he can make his way out. He's gonna guard thrust, it looks like. Totally fair. But trust me, he has some of the best game sense here. Great block and shields. Oh my goodness. Oh, but it wasn't enough because of the overhead. Yeah, it was just too much to handle all at once. So gutugutu goes down, and quite honestly, like, that exact scramble is what you want if you're the receiver of the guard thrust, because you want to make the guard thrust as painful as possible, right? The game already makes guard thrust pretty painful to use in Uniclair, which thankfully is being changed in UNI2. But Fuwafuwa made sure to make it even more painful by not only back-teching, but also re-securing his offense as soon as he could to make it like, oh, that guard thrust is a waste, right? So I think that was excellently handled. So now it's going to come down to Satohiro clutch. And if you guys watched the singles tournament with me earlier this stream, you'll know that he's definitely a player that can pull it off. It's going to take quite a bit, but it's surely possible. It's assured that he can do it. I hate how I hear the term game sense. I immediately think of Rainbow Six Siege. Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Trust me, I'm not trying to like I don't like, I need to just use like some quick phrases or words to describe things, because there's not always a lot of time to point out specifics about what players do well. So I apologize if that like using that term came across as like you know, over analytical esports style. But you know, trust me, like, there's plenty to talk about with what a lot of these players do, and it's a lot easier sometimes to just, you know, encapsulate it in like a simple phrase or word as like game sense or fundamentals, or, you know, whatever buzzwords people use, right? So trust me, if I had all the time in the world, such as, you know, if I wasn't working like full time and, you know, doing other hobbies and such, I would be making so many videos that were analytical about some of these players. I honestly need to do a better job of like just motivating myself to finish a video when I start making it, because that's the hardest part, finishing, right? So because anyone can have a lot of good ideas, but it's a matter of completing them. But anyway, yeah, this match is so fast paced. Like, it's 45 seconds, but it's been so, like, the pace of the match, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's a fast paced match still. Like, no player is really keeping their turn so. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there you go. That's probably dead. Oh no, 1 pixel. Oh, shielded. He's dead. And we saw the veil off tennis earlier. I was gonna point it out, but you guys already know how that's like. Veiling off right back, oftentimes one of the best things you can do after you've been veiled off. No, it's fine. It makes me think of sweaty Siege players that throw that term as a buzzword. Almost how like everyone and their mother uses fuzzy to, yeah, fuzzy mash, fuzzy jump, fuzzy avare. Yeah, I get what you mean though. Yeah, it is funny. I don't think I've said fuzzy today except for referring to Carmine's mix-up, which fuzzy is appropriate there because it's literally F Shiki, right? So. In the meantime, Satohiro's dead. Dude, Fuwafuwa sweep. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is exciting. This is not what would have been. Like, I don't think most people would have predicted this. Because look, Fuwafuwa's got on his team as well Ryu Orie and Totoko. Like, those are also good players backing him up. But, nah, I'll take care of all the work myself. Thank you very much. Against Satohiro, Goods, and Michel, no less. Good players of their own right. So, what an excellent match. And that was just to get us started with top 8. So, I'm really excited what lies ahead in the remaining 2 hours we've got. So we're 4 hours 30 minutes in, just about, into the stream. We'll certainly finish this. We'll do everything I planned today, which is including finishing up this VOD as well as talking about UNI2 beta. But I'll try to keep it reasonably condensed. Still, again, I don't mind if this VOD is long because, you know, we don't often have chances to do long streams anymore these days. When was the last time I've done a long stream of talking about a fighting game? But yeah. Here starts the next match. This is the first we've seen of Shimazaki on the VOD. And I think he's just about like de-rusting, because if you guys don't know, Shimazaki, one of the premier Chaos players in his prime. This was back in Arcade Unist. I think he kind of gave the game a break during most of the COVID era of Uniclair. So this tournament marked his just smoothing back into the game. Maybe he's played the game. I don't know. He just didn't stream or wasn't spotted on a stream. But still, he's gonna be playing against the Dyusei. This is actually like a nostalgic head-to-head itself, because both of these players played each other quite often back in Arcade Unist. I say quite often. That's pretty much an understatement. But yeah, Shimazaki's Chaos, he doesn't really have the best combos, but he has probably among the best understanding of Chaos as a character. He knows how to use Chaos to get out of a lot of different situations, and in general, I think he's the Chaos player with the best integration of Uni mechanics. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, he has a good throw game. He makes good use of assault specifically and back jumps with keeping grid in mind. And I think it's all well managed. He catches green shields excellently. These are all very subtle things that are not easy to point out, but you'll notice them when you see Shimazaki play Chaos specifically. On the other hand, Ryusei has been on Merkava for a long time himself. One of the best, like back when he was super active, which I think he's been active still lately, but back when he was super active, he was one of the best Merkavas in Japan for quite a while, like maybe number 2 or number 3. And I think what makes like Ryusei so good as well, he can make, like, he's another player that can like turn situations randomly into like something favorable for himself. It's like Ryusei can beat anybody, and sometimes you can also like lose to a lot of people. That's the best way to put it. But in this case, Shimazaki does come away on the victorious side. Just a warning again for non-premium users, as well as those of you that are not using AdBlock. There's going to be ads in about 30 seconds, so just to prepare you all for that. But don't worry, I'll try to make sure to, you know, not say anything super important during that. But anyway, like I think these days you can just skip ads, right? So it's not like Twitch. Okay, so next is Kyou versus Shimazaki. Yeah, this is another, like, I'm pretty sure this team head-to-head is guaranteed to have just like a bunch of juggernauts going at it. Kyou, basically the best Gordeau known to man. Again, like for Kyou, again, it's like really hard to describe what makes him so good, but trust me, like if you've seen him at his best, like you'll know. He finds ways to open up people and finds ways to escape so elegantly, and like, you know, like with I hate using this word, but with such finesse that like it's hard to believe that he plays Gordeau sometimes. Like, he's doing all of this with Gordeau. There we go, double dash C. It's a great confirm from Shimazaki. Checked all the boxes, got some grid in there, got some corner carry. Improved as well. Out of curiosity, is the Japanese scene still majority arcade stick? Yeah, to my knowledge, at least, yes. From what I've seen, I cannot think of many people in the Japanese uni scene that play on hitbox or pad. There are some, but I don't think they're very many by any means. Because, I mean, after all, most of them did play at the arcade cabinets back when the arcade scene was booming for uni, but alas. So double throw, this should be enough. This is like the power of having a combo throw. You're able to do things like this with VO off of the chain shift, and this should definitely be dead. Yeah, really well handled. Some combo routes can be weird to think of on the spot. Kyou, trust me, knows enough combos for a lot of situations where that's no problem for him. Had even Super CS just to make sure that, you know, the VO time would last as long as it could. And the way Kyou uses Gordeau's backdash, man, like almost every backdash Kyou does is good. Oh yeah. That was tricky to see which side that would be on. Yeah, sometimes you just get opened up. What can I say? Oh, good block. That was a uni moment. Crouch shield, mash buttons. And down goes Shimazaki, yeah. In style. The IWEXS. I think they increased the damage overall on IW in the UNI2. Unfortunately, that does mean it might be easier to guess will it kill whenever someone submits a UNI2 clip. Or maybe not. Maybe that means people will start going for IW at, you know, higher health ranges and it becomes harder to guess. Let me skip towards a little bit. So this one is Kyou versus Miyagi Muteki. Over time, he's greatly improved. There was a time, you know, you could tell he was early on into his Hyde journey, but steadily played a lot more games, got a lot more in-match experience. And towards like I want to say like 2018 or so, around that time, I think he started becoming the best Hyde player that was active, and it's absolutely true. Right now in Japan, he's one of the best Hyde players, if not the best. And he's really innovated with his combo routes. He always goes for something that's crazy hard at some point in a match. I think these days, though, he's kind of made it a note to play, not necessarily with like crazy combo routes, but more so just like play with extremely active defense, like going for Rise J so much, going for dash Cs, mashing a lot. But this all works out in his favor when things go well. All it means is that he just plays at a fast pace, but he's still willing to, you know, play defense for long enough where, you know, when he's going to flip the switch is going to be difficult to see. And we see the active defense there with the reversal DP. Sadly, Hyde doesn't get great Oki off of DPs, but it's at least enough to keep it in the back of the mind of your opponent. Green shield, yep, indeed. Very nice. Yeah, with chain shift specifically, Hyde's Rekkas are very powerful. The 214X Rekkas. Oh. Yep, the layers. Oh, he dropped the combo. Brutal. You don't want to be dropping combos against Kyou. But there's, yeah, the Rise J, as I was saying. I think he was going for it again there, but he got hit out by the 6B. Which actually, that's probably a unique situation where... Oh my... Kyou, you're insane. Oh my goodness. I'm not even... There's no... Like, if I were to describe what happened there, it would ruin it. You guys see for yourselves. Watch the replay if needed. That was insane. Yeah, great DP. That's exactly what you do there. Kyou unfortunately needed to go for EX Mortal Slide right away because there's a gap when you do Grim Reaper follow-up. And again, Miyagi is a player that will go for those active defensive measures. Yeah, the comeback. Yeah. No, that match was high octane all the way. I think actually when the match is really fast-paced, that's where Kyou can kind of crumble sometimes. Especially when it's a player like Miyagi who does embrace that fast pace. Although, I mean, I will say, right, like, the measures all came through, right? It was a matter of, like, some combo drops. And in some cases, like, just couldn't secure the corner off of the combo. And those small things do make a difference. But that's first to one, baby. So this one is Notes versus Miyagi, as I said. A lot of juggernauts going at it in this one. I think Miyagi is actually the right player to be going up against Notes here. He's played against Notes a lot in the past. So he's not just familiar with Carmine, he's familiar with Notes Carmine. So this one could really go either way. That was a hilarious start. That is like, you know, like in Marvel 3, you know, the meme is like round start, Nova air throw, and then go back to character select. I think Hyde's counter hit J6C is like the equivalent of that. I mean, thankfully people don't do that in Uni, right? But like the pause and go back to character select, but that's like the equivalent. Because Hyde can take you all the way to the corner off of that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, no. So I can explain, right? Like, Miyagi, he did not need to go for 2-2B or whatever he did. I think 2-2A maybe it was. Because, you know, he could have just thrown, and that still would have killed. But he decided to go for 2-2A for the combo. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. He got it. But, yeah, or like, if Notes had more health on Carmine, the 2-2A was actually the right move. Because that's a low for the sword part. So it's the right thing to do to grid break when they stand shield. Especially if you have enough time to see it like that. But in that situation, you just want to do throw, because that'll be good enough. I guess sometimes if you're unsure, right, if you're within range for throw, 2-2A does make sense. Or whatever that was. I think it was 2-2A. Hyde combos are just like harder than they should be. I think that's the best way to put it. Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for sticking around, Arisu, and I appreciate your questions as well. Hope the studying goes well, and have a good rest of your evening. Or yeah, so the knockdown in the corner is really good, especially because it's so much frame advantage. Yeah, as we pointed out, like, again, I think Miyagi was the perfect player to go up against Notes here. But this is where it gets started, right? Carmine does not need that much to get started, especially if he already has you in the corner. Yeah, and there's the grid break. Oh no. This is really bad for Miyagi now. Missed the fuzzy. It had to end like that. That was a good one though. That was still a good one. So I see. That's how Note's team went down with Kyou and Yusei. They went up against one of the other good teams with Shimazaki, Yagi, and Miyagi Moteki. So yeah, great match. Great set. Okay, so this one is I think it's Tommy and Suteneko. Suteneko is like one of the other active Mikas lately, like throughout, you know, not just Uniclair but also in Unist. Tommy is like definitely the premier Byakuya, especially in Uniclair. But even back in Unist, they were playing in Unist, and some excellent skills that they were developing over time. Byakuya is not very common though in Japan. That's just like seems to generally be true. Like there's not really very many Byakuya players, especially active ones. It seems that the North America seems to have much more Byakuya players. So I think there's a funny thing about this matchup. I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes, but it's something like Mika is like I think it's like Byakuya's web or something. One of his webs in the web set he doesn't hit Mika, so he has to do a different web. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. It's like a slight adjustment or something. Yeah, regardless, Tommy convincingly with the first one. I'm gonna be real too. I think Mika, like, people don't really rate Mika super high usually, but her throw game is absolutely frightening. And also, I think she has an excellent overall game plan in a tournament environment. She's one of the characters I personally say that I would be least inclined to want to face in a bracket. Oh my goodness, yeah, there you go. She sows chaos, indeed. I mean, literal, like, what, wake up 214C? Hilarious stuff. And it just works. It just worked there. I mean, there are ways you can avoid her nastier things. The corner missile stuff. I mean, okay, the corner missile stuff is like, you know, it's not the easiest to deal with, but delay tech can help to a degree. But everything is easier said to deal with than actually done. Yeah, there you go. The stand. See, that the upper web that was above Mika when she was in the corner didn't actually connect. It's weird. Like, it's like her, like, even when she's standing up, like, it's not, like, she's not tall enough, I guess, to get hit by it. I don't know. But I think it threw off Tommy a little bit. Regardless, he ended up taking that game. So yeah, this is main event. Top 8 of the 3v3. Uh-oh. Gonna switch scenes. What's going on? I can't really see who the Vatista player is. Maybe we can just still watch this one from here for now while I figure that out. So it was Suteneko. Okay, it's most likely Futoshiki, the Vatista player. So that's what we're gonna go with for now. But yeah, Tommy with the first round. Yeah, neutral for Byakuya is not the greatest, but he has one of the stronger anti-zoning tools in the game with Dash C. So if he was able to connect one of those, I mean, that's really all he needs. But other than that, you're really just like dash blocking and then maybe trying to squeeze in some web sets. It's a little greedy, but you can do it occasionally. There's also Dash B if you want to clip people low. It's not just a funny thing to do. It is sometimes an excellent option to do. But it does carry risk because Byakuya doesn't have the best ways of making himself safe by special canceling. Especially like high-level players, they'll start punishing Reko web. So you can't always rely on that as like a crutch. But the web oki, even Vatista has to hold this. Oh no! Yeah, the Vatista player did everything right, but then the web. And now this is, I mean, there's one more. Oh, and that's it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, brutal. So this last one is Tommy versus Unabana. Waldstein. This is the first we've seen Waldstein, I think, the whole tournament. Like, there might have been other Waldsteins, but this is the first Waldstein on the stream, like in the stream VOD. Waldstein honestly has a tough time defending against Byakuya in the corner. But, that being said, you still have to kind of know the matchup if you're defending against him. He's a character that really punishes lack of matchup knowledge. Oh my, yeah. Oh. I think the backdash succeeded, but then he might have just not blocked after. Yeah. Yeah, I think Unabana is present in mind of like most of the buttons and ranges that Tommy's trying to place his Byakuya buttons. At the same time though, like the awareness just isn't enough. You gotta also present the countermeasures against those options. I suppose Wake Up 360C is a countermeasure. Oh, brutal. I'm pretty sure that was a case of mental stack. Too much on the mental stack, because that was just like a raw overhead basically. Done from a range where Byakuya often likes going for assault or like, you know, long range low. So I guess it was just too much to keep in the head, keep track of. Totally fair. it's difficult, especially when you're playing Wildstein. All right, so that's the end of that one. A lot more like that. Yeah, that was a lot. Like that was a very convincing victory for Tommy and his team compared to the one we saw with Notes. There was Kyou as well, Miyagi Muteki, that one. All right, so last one of top 8. So this is Mawaru versus Alpaca Man. I think Merkava is one of the characters that can absolutely give Hilda trouble. But similarly, Hilda can give Merkava trouble. Like, that's something that is certainly worth noting, because Merkava oftentimes does what he wants to without much contest. In this case, though, Hilda can absolutely challenge Merkava more than a lot of characters can in neutral. And she has great defensive options. Okay, interesting. CS to keep the combo going. Respectable, actually. Oh, good block. And the throw tech. Okay. Oh, brutal. Mawaru had all the right decisions. Oh, what? Well, I think Mawaru was trying to go for half circle C and it ended up coming out as quarter circle. Yeah, that is a uni input reader moment. Half circle has to be the half circle in uni has to hit every single direction. So you have to hit 4, 1, 2, 3, 6. Otherwise, you don't get the half circle, unfortunately. So that might have been what happened. I can't imagine that was intended of an ender, but oh. So yeah, Alpaca Man threaded the needle there, looked for that punish, spent CS, which is very, like that I think that's the right decision here for sure, to get that confirmed. But, okay, 50-50 time. Yeah, and now you're probably dead. I think Alpaca Man is dead. He is so dead. Wow. No, but that was a great decision made by Mawaru. He had the meter. He had the conditions for setting up a 50-50 right away without having to really, quote-unquote, guess on the tech. Because if, if the opponent techs and if the opponent back techs, you might have to set the gloom slightly differently to account for that in order to get 50-50 off the regular ender. But in this case, Mawaru did the reset, quote-unquote, reset gloom ender, such that the 50-50 is pretty much assured because they reset standing, which means that there's not going to be a tech timing to account for. So well done from Mawaru. I think that going from that second to the third round, going from the second to the third round, I think he kept his cool, maintained the momentum gained by a solid closure of the second round, and that was that. So then it's going to be Seth versus Mawaru. Oh, this is the other Wildstein. There we go. I think this might have been. Yeah. And there you go. Yeah, Mawaru has had so much success on not just the day, but the whole tournament with round start dash B into force function X. It actually might just be force function A. I'm not sure. But regardless. Yeah, well adapted combo. Doing Hilda combos in the corner sometimes a little bit awkward, but Mawaru's got this down to T. Such a character master of Hilda. Oh, what a jump shield! He might have been able to punish with JB or JA, but it's it's easy to say in hindsight. And even then, it's like it's not certain. Yep, the backwards gloom set. I've talked about this in a video, guys, but oftentimes Hilda players would go for the gloom in the direction towards Hilda when the cycle's about to change. So that allows you to kind of make a greedy dash in or have a chance at least getting in to see if you can pressure her just a bit before that cycle. But in this case, yep, the Nitaku. Okay, no, one more chance for Seiya. This is a good opportunity. Ooh. Oh my goodness. That was an unsafe drop. That's the Wildstein experience, I guess. I don't know. That can happen though. I mean, it's not just Wildstein. Like some other characters definitely have unsafe drops, but that was definitely a painful one. All right, but good stuff to Mawaru. Is this the Mawaru sweep? Or I think it's Mad Croc coming up next. Another Hyde player that's been playing for quite a while. Even back to like, I think Arcade Unist. Yep, there's the round start dash B again. So much dividends being paid right now for that move alone. Oh, wake up DP. Yeah, the DP is a good tool for Hyde to have against Hilda. Oh, 50-50. Nice shield. Nice. Well, the shield actually, I think, pushed Mad Croc a bit too far out for the Obra he selected, which is unfortunate. Brutal. Maybe, I think Mad Croc, if he did EX Pizza, like EX Firewall, maybe, that would have nilled out the Gloom, but I don't even know if that would have done it. 50-50. Yup. And this is a lot of damage. 4.2 with the meter gained back, and this might be dead. Oh, that was awkward. Nope, no problem from Mawaru. He actually, wait, did he adjust the linchpin that he used? He used the A1. Wow. And those are the skills of a specialist of the character such as Mawaru. I definitely got to applaud him there. That looks really awkward. And you never know sometimes. Like sometimes it can throw you off and make you a bit confused or not really confident anymore. And which could be the start of things going out of control and perhaps going in the favor of the other player. But no, he kept things cool and assured that, you know, nothing would escape him, and, you know, assuredly not victory, right? So good stuff. This is going to be now going into the top 4. So let me just skip forward a little bit. So now Miyagi Muteki versus Fuwafuwa. I think both, I mean, especially Fuwafuwa, he's had a really good tournament, especially on the 3v3. But overall, I think this is going to be one of the more fast-paced matches we'll see. Both of these players have been playing light speed without regard to sitting down. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mortal slide really early, and that's going to get things started. Ooh. Wake up. That, there's no way that was not like rising forward J, right? Like jump forward J. I think the pogo stick itself might have been accidental. Good block. And that was like, it's hard to spot it, right? But Miyagi Muteki deliberately did not green shield that second hit of Mortal Slide there because he knew the spacing was not right for the second hit and simply just went for a 2-2-A to punish the recovery. I think it was a punish. Like, of course, it's hard to tell sometimes, but either way, it threw off Fuwafuwa a little bit. Oh, you can air block Mortal Slide? I did not know that, actually. Oh no. It's unfortunate. Messed up the meaty and you die for it. Oh, there we go. Oh, he dropped it. Yeah, again, Hyde combos are oddly weird. Like, they're more difficult than one would... Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, Miyagi technically went for the quote-unquote hard combo. Understandable, though. I mean, he did shield the VO, so he had more chance. He had more time to go for the hard combo, but, you know, that can come back to bite you. Does he even live this? I think... No, okay, one more, yeah. Oh, he went for Wake Up Dash C. Oh, no. Imagine if that came out as Wake Up Dash C. I think he actually would have won that round. Miyagi Miteki, that is. But instead, the opposite is the case. And so the opener goes to Fuwafuwa. So Shimazaki, I mean, I think he's the man for the job, but at the same time, how many times has he played against Gordeau? I'm not sure. Probably not the character he faces most commonly. That at least there's that to be said, but he can definitely do it. That shouldn't change that. Oh no. Yeah, there you go. I guess the question really should have been, how much experience does Fuwafuwa have against Chaos? Because that's what it's looking like right now. The appropriate question, that is. 2C? Oh! 5? Oh no, that was dash B. I thought that was 5 VB. Oh my goodness. I guess that's airborne? Genius. Good tech. Oh, but now Shimazaki put himself in the corner. This has the potential to be very bad for Shimazaki. Nope, but yeah, managed to clutch it out with the 2C. Yeah, the way that went, I think that suggests that, you know, Shimazaki's experience came in clutch there, and also just the fact that it's likely to Fuwafuwa hasn't had enough Chaos experience, because I mean, after all, how many Chaos players are there that are as skilled and as knowledgeable on the character as, you know, the likes of Shimazaki, Sehata. I think there was Mameo as well. I don't know if Mameo was at this tournament, but yeah. Alright, so next is Shimazaki versus Totoko. I think this is the first we've seen a Totoko on stream for this VOD. Long-time Linne player. I think back to the days of UNI2 at least. And they've certainly got a lot of experience in this game. But that being said, oh yeah, throw combo. Yeah, I don't think Linne's advantages against Chaos are so glaring such that it outweighs how much Chaos can just force Linne into awkward neutral interactions. I mean, Kuga is powerful against Chaos for sure. That's probably one thing that we can say that, you know, maybe Chaos has difficulty with it, but then Chaos does have other tools like 6C that can challenge it. And yeah, again, like Linne's offense isn't so oppressive to leave Chaos helpless, at least in my opinion. Oh no, that's bad. Yeah, yep. Deer and headlights in the air. Yep, there's a Kuga though. Oh no. Good, okay. Good block on the cross up though. Wow. Can Shimazaki bring this all the way back? Oh my goodness. Suffocation. I think Totoko's offense was pretty good in that round actually for most of it. Part of what allowed him to even get things going was the fact that he got close enough where TK Kugas would allow for a solid throw game to be performed, and that's where Linne is certainly favored with her stronger frame data than Chaos. But at the same time, those grid break throws were just so punishing. I think there was actually even another throw that Shimazaki just didn't dash up far enough for. That would have led to even more damage, but in the end there, just, you know, it was overpowering, and I think goes to show how strong Shimazaki is, even when he's not the most practiced as he used to be. I mean, I think he still got it, but you know, it goes to show that like he still hasn't lost his touch. There's one thing that's irreplaceable in the world of fighting games, and that's experience. Experience never leaves you. So now Ryu's up aboard, and this is a good start for Shimazaki. Of course, he's gonna win this cycle too. Oh dear, this is extremely bad for Ryu. Yeah, Ryu's gonna need to get something started soon, otherwise it's gonna be a complete steamroll. All right, there we go. The two ways. At the same time, though, like, I think the wall that Ozzy provides for Chaos can present difficulties for Orie, because, you know, you're used to just like divine thrusting in with using Thanatos available specials to cover some degree of the approach, but when Ozzy's out, that's not as easy to accomplish. But when you get this momentum going, none of that matters, and that was such a good round from Ryu. Like, there were some tricky mix-ups in there as well with Force Function and 6B. Just hard to parse everything that's going on. Oh, there we go. I think Ryu's found a weakness that he can exploit. It's 6B for the time being. He's just got to keep that in mind. Oh no. Well then, that's all Ryu needed for the motivate, like for that just extra confidence booster. Those are some aggressive shields by Shimazaki. It unfortunately didn't pay off, but oh. Okay. Start of something. With that veil off. This is a... Okay, no, he's not going to be able to IW. It's fine. Easily is going to win the cycle here. But the 3B OS and stylish to finish it off, Ryu does. So staying in it, that was a really good match. Okay, that's what we call a quick one. Like, that was not only high pace, but that was just fast in general. I mean, obviously there was a perfect in there in the second round, but the minute that second round was done, I think Ryu found the switch that needed to be flipped in order to overcome those challenges he was facing with Shimazaki's terrifying chaos. And then the idea of, you know, the 6B potentially being the linchpin for like unlocking the rest of the game plan that Ryu sought to unleash, right? I think that's what kind of opened up everything else, because it allowed for the pace to be like increased. You could see that he started going for like shorter but snappier pressure that kept him close enough to chaos to allow for Orie's, like, you know, or I mean Orie overall has better like defensive buttons, let's be real, right? But beyond that, like, even when Ryu was stuck in a tough position after being veiled off, like, he kept the cool, ensured that he kept, like, he didn't seek to like right away veil off, but rather keep in mind that he still had an opportunity to turn things around as long as he was in the range of winning the next cycle, which he ended up doing. So it was really good stuff. Like, he didn't need veil off to win the cycle, basically, is what I'm saying. So now we have Yagi as the anchor. Yagi's been playing the game for a while as well on Vatista, dating back to like Arcade Unist. I don't know how active they've been during Uniclair, but I don't imagine any of the skills to have faded away. The real issue is whether they can put up a fight against the current DU train, which so far looks to be... Oh, okay, well that's one way to... What? Did that go through the whole thing? So, Vatista can straight up just flash kick through all of 22C. Is that what I just saw? I guess I'm left to accept that, have to accept that, but yeah, it's all JA. Wow, today I learned something. Yeah, Ryu's definitely turning up the pace. Playing very aggressively at the moment. Aggressive shields for that cycle there too. That might have been flash kick. Yeah, Ryu's definitely playing present in mind of flash kick currently. Especially given that, I mean, the flash kick hitting after that 2GC was just super surprising. Oh, Ryu was about to walk all the way up. I mean, Orie's walk speed is fast, but you know, that's pretty ballsy nonetheless. I think that was an attempt at 3B, but unfortunately, Batista's JC is pretty active, and I think 3B was not done soon enough. Oh, what a block. Oh, okay. Ryu's still in there, but Yagi now has a pretty solid advantage. Oh my god, that's gonna hit. Yeah. Oh, but no conversion. Oh my goodness, no, don't tell me that's how it ended. Yeah, wow. So it did. I think that was good discipline from Yagi not to spend that additional 100 meter, knowing that it should have been enough with that one EX laser. Oh dear me, what was that? You think you blocked it? Block it again. Uh-oh. So that's some VO time, I guess. Here we go. Mix up. Nah, Garthos, yeah. Smart. Smart. Oh no. This is Vatista, alright. Oh, see, Orie's backdash is insane. Most backdashes would not have escaped the grasp of B-drill there, especially the second part of it. But nah, Orie's was the perfect one for the job, and Ryu makes the full comeback. Clutch. Cool, so let's see. That was the first top 4 match. The second one is okay, it looks like Lipu is on one of the teams. I think it's Tommy's team. So unfortunately, we won't be able to hear his commentary for this match. But I think Michel was commentating this one, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, the first match is Lipu versus Daniru. It's a rare sight to see phone on these days. Let's be honest. I think Ripu is gonna continue staying loyal to her. We might also see Mateo Keke back. Like Mateo Keke obviously been more focused on Lumina these days, but if he does come back to Uni, then he might be playing phone on as well. And there's also Pekka I think Pekka is going to be playing Phonon probably if he does decide to come back. So there'll be a number of players probably playing Phonon in UNI2, but at least at the current time, Phonon has absolutely been rare throughout UniClear, which she's still good. The nerfs are felt, no doubt about it. I mean, let's be real, in Eunice, she was quite overtuned. But you know, it's not like Eltonum where like the nerfs are like kind of out of left field. Like the nerfs for Phonon were more understandable. I think the Phonon nerfs went to show like how much she had, and she still has quite a lot. Even in UNI2, she's gonna get some more stuff, and we'll see the impact of them. But yeah, regardless, I think this matchup is absolutely one where Phonon can get her stuff going because of her just inherent long range, and also Ripu just has so much Phonon knowledge and experience in a number of matchups. I mean, Daniru is a skilled player, of course, but like at this point, it's a matter of like just game time, matchup experience, you know, ability to put on a show with the character, and that's exactly what Ripu has done. No meter to kill there, unfortunately, so one more opening needed. But yeah, the fireball jump backs are absolutely reasonable to do. This is where Vatista is turned into immortal. Oh no, oh dear. Okay, this okay, we'll see. Yeah. I respect the wake up 5A. I respect it. And it worked out, so good. Yeah, great first one. I don't think we saw Ripu play any matches on stream earlier, so this is the first match we saw on stream, no pressure. I mean, after all, doing commentary all day, probably TOing all day too. Most people would probably be tired at that point, but nah. Just another day playing some offline UniClear with my favorite character, you know? Alright, so now Ripu versus Ohittou. These two have played a lot, especially back in the arcade era. So I mean, Ripu can definitely beat Ohittou, but I think this one comes down to just who's cleaner. It's not really like a matter of like the matchup itself. Oh, what a confirm. Yep, and it has enough time to charge grid for the cycle too. Yeah, well chosen combo route for that. Oh, this is damage. But too high. I think he just had to wait a little longer after the CS in order to pick that up. It's tough though, because you really can't see the height since the particles cover a little bit of the character sprites, and it makes it difficult to make the adjustment. It was a good attempt. Oh, what? But yeah, also, like, if we consider the matchup itself, Phonon has things that make Seth have to be more conscious of when he goes for orb sets and, you know, backflips, those sorts of things. JC especially is the great equalizer. Back in Unist, Phonon also had 5 frame, so her defense was actually really good. And you know, it wasn't like she was in unfavored situations in point blank against Seth, but now without a 5 frame, it's a bit more difficult. At least, okay, I don't think she has a 5 frame. There's no way she has a 5 frame anymore, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what they changed. Now I'm unsure. Now I think I've doubted myself on this. Oh man. All it took was an opportunity where you made a few mistakes, and that was that. Ohittou very convincing in that last round there. Yeah, I think where Ripu would have had the most solid chance was in neutral, which I don't think Ohittou was willing to engage in neutral for much longer after that first round, so it's reasonable, makes sense. Still some good info gathered for Toriwo. And oh, here comes Stawo. Okay, Stawo is one of the most unique Nanase players. Like it's a very peculiar style, but it's actually a really, like, he's a really good player with Nanase. Fast paced, a bit wild, has some of the, you know, most stylish and non-standard combo routes as well. And to be honest, like, Nanase can definitely play against Seth pretty well, especially now in especially ever since Uniclair. A lot of Uniclair changes Nanase received favored her for this matchup precisely. Yeah, there you can see some of the neo, what's it called? The neo standardness. I don't know how to say it. Like with this double force function to get like a low float. This is something that you would see Hishigata do back in the day, but not as much anymore. Stawo kind of maintained it as part of his style of play. And a great round. Okay, I got a 2-1-4C to make it safe. Such was the life of Nanase in Uniclair. I don't think this will be the case any longer in UNI2 though, especially now that she's going to have 2-2C. An insane move, by the way. We'll talk about it when we get to that. Maybe not, actually. We might not have time for it. We'll probably just have to talk about the high-level stuff, but it's okay. We'll try to cover that. Whatever I can discuss when we get to UNI2, we'll talk about it. Oh, dear. Is that dead? That could be dead if Ohittou decides to spend IW. Yeah, I think that is dead. Good. Yeah, you got hit by 63B. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a VO. That was a really good VO. Nice, yeah, that's one of the layers you can apply when you have chain shift. That's like the power of just having chain shift. It's like the threat that you can make use of without actually using chain shift. So yeah, Stawo maintaining his pace. Oh yeah, that I appreciate the boldness, the audacity, but unfortunate it didn't work out. Oh yeah, oof. The first time Ohittou goes for it against Stawo, it works out, and that's, well, I mean, what a perfect time for it to work out. So now Stawo's got to have really solid defense here. It's got to be a wall. Ooh. Yeah, you could see the pressure starting to surmount. I think Ohittou did a good job of creating that aura, because you could definitely tell like Stawo was looking a bit shaky on defense towards the end of that round. It was a good one though. It was a good game. I think, is that that was the last one, yeah. No, there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. So Tommy versus Ohittou, rematch of Evo Japan. No, Evo Online Japan 2020 Grand Finals. Tommy was victorious in that one. I don't think Ohittou was too happy about that, but, you know, time has passed since then. Lessons were learned. Players have improved over time. Ohittou, not a moment between now and then where he's not been active in uni. On the other hand, Tommy, there's a chance he wasn't as active. I mean, he wasn't streaming as often, so... I mean, that's not to say he wasn't active, but, you know... That being said, you know, this match still could go either way. Traditionally, Byakuya is a character that's a bit more awkward for Seth. Mostly when Byakuya gets his game going, as we can see right now. That's where Seth is a bit more mortal. In neutral, it's not as bad. Still could be bad, but it's just like an awkward one. It's not entirely favored for necessarily Byakuya nor Seth. But Ohittou still comes away with the win in that first round. Tommy really needed to keep the train going the whole way in order for it to be successful. And you can see Tommy's going for the JBs in preemption. JB, 5B, both of those are excellent at catching Seth during a blink, but it's really a hard call out, and it's not always going to be successful. You can see the 3C, despite it's being the button for the job, it's not always going to succeed. Seth is just that mobile in the air. This time though, another hit, I think it was an air conversion, and a really good one at that. Oh, that was a gold throw. I think the throw timing was slightly late, so it gave Ohittou more time to just react. Oh! Okay. I was like, wait, can he combo from that? Yeah, they're getting rid of that, like where Seth's EX orb can still hit after he's been hit. Which honestly, like, sure, like, it doesn't really... Like, the fact that that existed was pretty crazy. Now, the question is, does Ohittou have enough time to win this round? I'm not actually sure. Oh, no, definitely not with that J2C. Excellent. And this is a great start to the round for Tommy. This is actually a really good position. This is exactly what you want if you're a Byakuya player. You get the opening, you get the first opening in the round, leading straight into your Okizeme, but not with that combo drop. Oh dear. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, great VO. Oh, wake up DP. No. Wow. That is very rare from Ohittou. Oh, but Tommy... I'm not going to say... Yeah, okay, yeah. Tommy does win yet again in this head-to-head. So I think it comes down to Mawaru. He's going to have to clutch. Or Tommy will just come away with this one for his team. Although, I mean, Byakuya actually has a solid fighting chance against Hilda, especially with 100 meter. But this is Mawaru's Hilda we're talking about. This is not just any old Hilda. And yeah, that's not looking good, but I think... Oh. Maybe just drop the input. Ooh. Yeah, the reset. You know, it's funny that the reset ended up being what Mawaru went for, because I think EX Gloom is actually a very scaled starter, especially when a lot of the nails hit. So the reset makes sense. It's still interesting because, you know, it can produce a scramble. It gives the opponent another chance potentially if they understand and recognize the situation. I appreciate the simplicity of this confirm. At this point, you just need to get something started. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what Tommy needs right now. So now you got to put Hilda in jail. Oh, wake up 3B? Wait a... What? That 3B destroyed all the webs in one go. Wow. Today I learned. And another 50-50. Nice block, though. And an even better confirm from Mawaru. That's exactly how you need to hit confirm that at that height, because otherwise the pickup won't work with 63A, for example, nor would it work for 22X. Yeah, and so Mawaru is the one to be able to clutch it out. That, you know, again, I'm not surprised in the least. But that was still a good match. So to the finals, Mawaru and his team go. I think they face Ryu's team, if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, we can watch the interviews, I guess.
ありがとうございます。じゃあ続いてはマワルさんでよろしいですか。マワルです。よろしくお願いします。あれですよ、インタビューとか答えてないんですけど、ちょっと今日まで割とアンダーライトが S となってから結構頑張ってきたんで、ここらでちょっと一発結果残したいと思ってますんで、ぜひ目に焼き付けてください。よろしくお願いします。はい、未勝利のダニエルです。決勝頑張ります。はい、ありがとうございます。じゃあ続いてこれに対するチームお呼び出します。博多明太子ラスク、味噌煮込み湯、とっとこリンネ、竜オリエオリエ、ふわふわゴールドになります。ではコメントの方をじゃあ竜さんからで。いやー、ここまでね、みんなの力で勝ち上がってきたんで、最後まで勝っていこうと思います。よろしくお願いします。
どうもとっとこです、みんなの力でとありがたいお言葉をいただいたんですが、今のところここまでチームメイトにラスクを配っただけの男です。もうこのままでは終われないので、ちょっと決勝頑張りたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。
どうもふわふわです。みんなはじめまして。そうですね、まあ今のところ僕頑張ってるんで、これからも頑張れたらいいなって思ってます。
Uh-oh. Audio went away. This seems to be in the VOD that it went away, not my stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Alright, we can skip towards the start of the match. So, the final. Two respective teams that made it to the final looks to be Daniru, Ohittou, and Mawaru. And then the other team is Totoko, Ryu, and Fuwafuwa. And now that we've watched the entirety of the tournament up to this point, I can certainly say these two teams deserve to be in the final, the way they've performed, especially from second player, the player 2 team, Fuwafuwa and Ryu. They've both played out of their minds. On the other hand, though, I mean, when you got Daniru, Ohittou, and Mawaru on the same team, I mean, you know, namely the latter two who've been super active throughout the entirety of Uniclair, it's not surprising that, you know, they're in a really good position going to these grand finals. And putting Daniru on point is really smart. You want to get this off to a good start while still having perhaps your two best performing players so far in this tournament on the anchor, just in case things go wrong. Well, you can see Totoko's like, this is a very like boomer route. This is like that's like a very UNI2-esque Linne route right there. But you know that is Totoko for you. Oh dear. Okay. Fortunately, not punished for it. But that delay dash up 2C, I think it was well intended. Yeah, this matchup for Linne, you have to really find your openings when you can. It's very difficult. Fortunately, she has the mobility to make it happen. And Totoko made a very careful decision to just stay on the ground. Unfortunately, couldn't get the most out of it, but now it actually still has Daniru in the corner. Maybe this is okay. As long as he's not the one blocking in neutral. Vorpal strip. Yeah, pressure reset with EX fireball makes sense. There you go. Catching what I'm guessing was a flash kick OS from Daniru.
立ち回り、リンネはどうにかして捕まえなければならない。バティスタ側が優位に立ち回りを進めているようには見えるが、左右で振ってくる。ここはガード、バティスタがダウンにさあ画面足1は上位コーゼグ6シがヒット。
Oh, if only Vatista could be counter hit. Imagine what could have been off of that 6C from Linne. Oh, what a confirm though. This is exactly why. Yeah, no, excellent routing. This is exactly why that experience matters. Even though Totsuko hasn't necessarily had too much game time, you know, in the latter uni games, the experience he's had from like Uniel and then also Arcade Unist matters a lot when you're able to improv, but unfortunately, Vatista is going to do Vatista things. Still good effort. And there's still, I think, Ryu and Fuwafuwa up next, so they should be able to do any cleanup if need be. Sending in Fuwafuwa next makes sense. Yeah, Ryu's been playing really well, like, this whole tournament. Like, people talk about, you know, the format for these events, but you can even with the format, I still feel like you can kind of point out which teams have consistently been performing well on that day. And both of these two teams have been doing so. So I think they both do deserve to be in the grand finals. Although I guess to some degree you could say like the seeding as well, maybe, I don't know, like because the team that had Notes, Kyou, and I don't remember the other team that was there, and then there's the team that had Miyagi, Muteki, and a couple other players I forgot. I mean, they had to face each other, I think, in the top 8 stage, so that's part of it too, I guess. You know, the eliminating each other. Oh, what a 2B. The right button for that job. Yeah. And now Fuwafuwa is getting the Gordeau game going. Oh, look at the air stall, but it doesn't matter. Wow. Yeah, that was sick. So indeed, Fuwafuwa is the cleanup crew here. But again, you got Ohittou, you've got Mawaru in the back. Look like they're going Mawaru first. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, Hilda Gordeau. I think Hilda does like quite all right against Gordeau for sure. And Mawaru's been playing really well the whole way, so it makes sense to put him in there. Oh yeah, look at that. So Mawaru doing the right thing to green shield, attempt to green shield the second hit of Mortal Slide. But funny enough, Fuwafuwa also did the right thing to try to catch that green shield with the command grab third follow-up of Mortal Slide. However, he wasn't close enough. Because what's interesting is that green shields push you out slightly when you use them, push out the opponent. So I think it pushed out Fuwafuwa just outside of the range of the command grab follow-up, and it just went right back in Mawaru's favor. 50-50. Nice block. Oh, he didn't tech it. What a dive kick though. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like you can't think too hard about the opportunities you miss, because there might just be another opportunity that comes right in front of you later on, and you got to take full advantage of it. Yeah. Yeah, wake up 2A with commitment, with conviction. Vio? Yep. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna miss this, right? You guys are gonna miss Vorpal Strip into 50-50. You're gonna miss Vorpal Strip into 50-50 into 4.6, right? You guys are gonna very much miss that, right? Oh, fuzzy. Oh, but missed the confirm. And Mawaru clutch again. Alright, so it comes down to Ryu having to clutch this out. He has to beat Mawaru and Ohittou. What a tall task. And for those of you that are premium users and or are not using an ad block, there's going to be ads in like 4 seconds. So just a forewarning. I won't skip to the start of the match just to give those of you time to skip through the ad. But yeah, this is Orie and Hilda. This matchup is fine for Orie if the Orie player has enough just general Hilda matchup knowledge. That is, things that don't necessarily correlate to Orie specific countermeasures, but more so the general application of shielding on Hilda, dash blocking at the right moments, knowing when to back tech certain Nokizeme, because you know that's your way of avoiding some of the 50-50 knockdowns. Otherwise, I mean, there's not really much else in terms of Orie specific countermeasures. Oh, it missed the 2A link. You could see that he went for the 2A link. That 5C was supposed to come after a 2A, but the grid break's already over. Mawaru can actually win the cycle, and so he does. Wow, brutal. Brutal if you're Ryu, because he got the grid break correctly with the 6B earlier, and didn't really get rewarded for it because of the combo drop. Now instead, Mawaru's in such a great position here. And look at this damage. That's 3k off of one of Hilda's worst starters. In fact, I think it is her worst starter. But still got 3k without that, like 3.3 if you count the Vorpal, which usually I don't count, but you know, nothing to scoff at. Oh, wow. Hilda jump 2C versus Orie jump 2C death battle. Oh, what an intelligent dash up after the 2C was set. And this is probably it for this round. CS, double pin, and the dash C. Yeah. Mawaru is playing so insane this whole tournament, but especially in the grand finals now. Ryu's really got to like pull out the last gambit from his sleeve. And you know, that's the only chance here, right? Because he still has to get 2 more rounds in a row and then has to beat Ohittou. Like, oh my goodness, no. Okay. Oh no, he didn't block the JB. That's like half a knowledge check. And then another 50-50, and then it's overhead again. Brutal. Is Ryu just dead here? Oh, okay, no. One more chance. Kind of weird to adjust for. The guard thrust is fair enough, especially when Mawaru's in the corner. This could be actually the chance for Ryu to take this back. Oh, whoa. Okay, I appreciate the ambition. Wake up teleport is not something you usually see from Hilda. And it kind of almost worked, let's be real. But not quite. Oh, yep, good knowledge. That's the Orie knowledge right there. Using the Divine Thrust to avoid the Gloom. It wasn't airtight whatsoever. But we get the double Force Function X. And Vorpal Strip into 50-50. Okay, blocked. And punished because he shielded the second part. Really good knowledge. That 5A of Orie with that reach coming in so clutch. Another punish. That was a punish. And I think, no, this is not dead. This is not dead. Yeah, one more. Oh my goodness. Wow, that did not look like the odds were in Ryu's favor whatsoever, but somehow managed to pull it off. So now it does come down to Ohittou versus Ryu. And to be honest, no, I'm not gonna say anything. No. I mean, of course the results are known, right? But like, even if I didn't know them, like, there's not really any. Yeah, there's no way to predict who's gonna win here. Ryu's playing with such momentum. On the other hand, Ohittou can be susceptible to gaffing, to put it simply. Really could go either way. First to one. So this is it. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better way for the grand finals to play out. Man, it makes me miss like Over the World, Reincarnation of Parade, you know, those team-oriented arcade tournaments that happened during UNIST. Here we go. Oh, what if... Yeah. Oh, that 5B was beautiful. That's just like the perfect range for it. That is what 5B is meant for. This is the kind of start that shows that Ohittou knows what he needs to do to win. He's on a mission. We'll see if Ryu can like recompose, but honestly, okay, let's just find out. Let's watch. Let's see. Oh, what a yeah, top class from both of these players. Truly. Oh, I wonder if Ryu wanted J2 and 4B. It would have connected on the block, I think. Instead, it just ended up being an awkward scramble because there was no blocks done. Oh no! Oh, but a drop. Okay, defensive 2-2C, but it doesn't work out. I think. Oh, actually, Ohittou did unblockable during that. He was so smart, and that is it. What a tournament. So no choking for Ohittou this time. That's a double for him as well. He won the singles tournament and he won 3v3 with his team. Mawaru and Daniru. So really well done. Well deserved. This team was composed of very active players throughout Uniclair, so like in hindsight, it's definitely not surprising that they came away victorious with this one. It was well fought. Every player came with their best, and the practice paid off. I mean, although like Ryu was really close to clutching it, so still big ups to him.
シングル3位という前評判を大幅に裏切りましたが、なんとか未勝利は出してよかったです。はい、負けたのは悔しいし、いいところを出せなかったんで、次回作も頑張りたいと思います。
It's amazing to think that there was a team composed of Crow, Jikangira, and Zawa. We weren't able to see them at all during the stream because they didn't make it too far.
めちゃくちゃ嬉しいです。コンバージョンキルダめちゃくちゃ強かったです。ありがとうございます。すいません。今までネガキャンしてごめんなさい、本当に。このキャラめっちゃ強かったです。ありがとう。
瀬戸も本当イントルードありがとうみたいなところあるので、この新イントルードを急なフィーチャーにしてくれてありがとうみたいなことだいぶありますね、本当に。今日は5シーダーで2人出してやって本当に良かったと思います。ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございました。
Okay, that's that. Stormy night. First fest. Worth noting the first in that, right? Presumably, the implication of a second down the line? Perhaps? I'd be excited for it if that happens. Yeah, again, massive thanks to both Lipu, who's on the mic right now with this. I think he's showing off the prizes probably. And also thanks to Michel. Both of them put in a lot of work to make this event happen. And it was a cool proof of concept. I think it shows the appeal of, SBO or, just like the old arcade era style tournaments. The appeal is still there. And it's nice that they were able to secure a weekend where they could dedicate 2 days to just Uni, showing off the shirts that Muteki-ji-kan gave them. And yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I don't think we need to watch the rest of this. Again, we were just focused on the tournament itself, but these are nice little supplementary things that are cool to look back on in a positive manner. Okay, you guys, so that is going to conclude our viewing of Stormy Night, the 2-day Uniclear tournament that took place offline in Japan. Again, big thanks to those that put it on, everyone involved, and congrats to, I think it was Ohittou won the singles tournament, and then his team of himself, Mawaru and Daniru, that won the 3v3. So congrats to those players that won. So I think that, yeah, that suffices to say that, it was a great tournament. And man, my voice is tired from talking a lot during that. This was almost 6 hours of just watching some Stormy Night, but I enjoyed every minute of it. Hope you guys also did.